Hello, hello. This is basically a quick CLOG extra. I want to demonstrate a new little tiny but really cool feature that I've added to the builder, and that is the idea of panels being used as custom controls. So basically, we go ahead here and create a new panel, okay, called custom control.clock. It can be really, and let's go ahead and let's add a couple of controls. Let's say, oh, actually, let's add a grid first. Okay, so basically, the grid allows us to automatically lay out our controls. So this is also new, by the way, the grid, adding the grid container. And basically, we go ahead and you actually give them a name. For example, A, B. Let's say there's going to be two controls at the top of this particular grid, and C, C. So it's kind of laying it out so the bottom one will have one control name with basically there's a grid area A, grid area B, and a long grid area C on the bottom. So we drop a couple of basically controls, right? Well, it can actually be moved by going ahead and hitting the control key, which actually will allow you to, or shift key to actually go ahead and move who the owner is. But we're going to go do it, by the way, with a little panel on the side. I find that a lot easier by using our actually a control list. And just remember, so shift, you can basically move stuff around in the DOM, and of course the grid control when you actually drop, like we just did now with this button. We'll add, let's move our button to be static as well. This way, they need to, basically the buttons in the grid container need to be set as static, and then they will flow with the grid. Let's add the third button. Okay, oops, I selected the whole screen by mistake. Mistake. 1 second. Whoops. Okay, what? Sorry about that. I added another thing by mistake. Okay, delete that. Okay. All right. So basically, let's go ahead and now move it into our grid. Okay. Okay. Good. Now those two of them are static. Well, actually, they're all static now. What happens is I've got some sizes on them because the way I dropped them. Okay. So let's get rid of the sizes on there, the width and the heights. Perfect. So now they're all, let's say, with height. Let's make sure everything else is. They should all be basically okay at this point, but let's just make sure there's no width and height set for anything. Good, and there we go. Okay, now let's see. Perfect. Okay, so now again, you'll notice, by the way, it's still not really following our actual grid. Now the extra stuff the web browser stuck in there as far as dimensions, it doesn't make a difference, but I deleted it anyways. Okay, so what we'll do is let's actually set the grid area. Let's give them names. Okay, and let's say that's going to be our A. So grid area A. Okay, that's names. This way we make sure everything lays out the way we want. By assigning grid areas, it's a much better way than just relying on things to be based on the order that are placed in and so forth. So there we go. So let's finish this up. That's B, and then we have to take our third control and we make area C. And you'll see now when I do this, it'll pop out. There we go. Perfect. Exactly the format that we wanted with our grid, and we'll automatically set up. Perfect. Okay. Now let's go ahead and make that static. Okay. This way it's there in the corner. Okay, I think we're good to go now with this. Okay, so let's actually add some events. This way we can see what I want to do with this. Okay, let's go ahead and let's change the text. Okay, so text value target, because basically that's in the events. Target's always in the event. Now, obviously, by the way, I'm actually making these changes directly into the CLOG event viewer, but keep in mind that the CLOG events, the best way to do this is not to put stuff in the events themselves, but rather to call out to list functions someplace else. I mean, it's very tempting to do this, but it becomes horrible to maintain later on. Because again, if you have an area of a problem, except if you'll find the code, you'll be looking at generated code all the time, and that's not ideal. Okay, so that's our on click, and let's do a quick sample. And there you go, and you see it's working. Hit me. Okay, great. Okay, okay, fine. So now at this point, let's make another CLOG builder window. Let's go to our my first app. Okay, let's do ASD edit. Okay, let's go ahead and add another panel. Now this panel is going to be our panel where we're going to drop the custom control panel, as we noticed that what we called it. Okay, panel 1. Okay, great. Okay, and of course, you can always use the project tree or the ASD viewer. Either one works. Okay, so make sure that's saved. Okay, go back here. Okay, so first thing we'll do is we're going to do the first of the two things I want to show you. One is copy panel. We do now basically is we give the oh, we forgot. We have to make sure our packages are all set up right. Good to go, right? So let's go back. For example, let's see our first app. Let's open up one of the generated template ones. Okay, my first app. I just copy that out of there. That's your package, right, for the application. Okay, and let's go in here, change this to my first app. Okay, and let's just say this one also, same thing. My first app, and and let's give it a name as well. All right, save it. Okay, oops, wrong thing. Oops. I did refresh that before. Okay, so bring it up. Okay, CC. Let's give us something. CC. Okay, custom control. All right, fine. Save it. Done. I went ahead. Now that new little man there, that's evaluate. Right? We don't actually have to run the app, but we do need to evaluate it. Remember, this is all live in your actual REPL. Everything is alive in the REPL, right? And so, in the list of images itself, it's accessible from the REPL for sure. Everything is kind of connected. Remember, this is all one big live image. Okay, so create CC, and boom, we went ahead now and we've dropped our panel into the new panel, right? So CC now is in our my panel 1, and basically, right, you'll notice there were no events on it or anything else because we did the copy panel layout. What that does is it copies all the control layouts, but doesn't actually copy the panels. This is not really a custom control. It's just a way, for example, to have a template of things to do GUI work with. So that's one way. So you could have done that. The second way what we're going to do now is an actual custom control or panel as a control. Now you'll notice on the side here, copy panel 1. The other one is custom control. Now that means to say that the entire block as a whole, right? I can set events on the whole thing, but each individual control, right, I can't. Now notice, it works, right? Because that basically what happens is we're actually running the other panel in this panel as a control, right? So I can actually then go back to my original panel now, and I can make changes, right? So let's go ahead and change the text. Okay, please. Okay, and let's go ahead and save that, right? And evaluate it. Go back here. Now you notice it's not here, but I can reload, right? Reload it, and boom, there it is. See? And pretty much like I said, it's all live. Everything is live, so it's pretty cool. So this is actually a really great way to be able to divide up your applications, to build one thing on another, etc. This really adds a really great dimension to what it means to be able to component development, basically. Now, of course, you can always do a full out plugin. We've tutorials on that and stuff, and we'll talk more about it. But I just really want to show you this one particular feature, and that I just added. I just wanted to share it to the world, if you will.